All right. So least common multiples work a lot the same way as greatest common factors. So if we have 12 and 16 and we're trying to find the least common multiple, we do the prime factorization of each. How many times does 2 go into 12? 6. How many times does 2 go into 6? 3. So this is 2 squared times 3. 16 is 2 and 8, which is 2 and 4, which is 2 and 2. How many 2's do I have? 4. So it's 2 to the 4th power. So when we're doing greatest common factor, it would be 2 squared or 4. When we're doing least common multiple, it's everything that appears. So both the 2 and the 3 to the highest power it appears to. 4. This is when you get out your calculators and you multiply this out. What's 2 to the 4th power? Well, it's actually written right here. 2 to the 4th we just found was? Nope, bigger than that. 16. Because we just had 16 is 2 to the 4th, so 2 to the 4th would be 16. So then you take 16 times 3 and you get 48 is the least common multiple. And you're going, why do I have to know this stuff? Well, when you're adding fractions, such as 1/12 plus 5/16, you need to know what the least common denominator is, least common multiple of the denominators, and the least one is 48. Now, would have this been helpful earlier in the year? Yep, it would have been, but this is my first time teaching pre-algebra, and they had it in this section instead of before the fractions. So, I guess we're doing it now. Okay, let's do another one.
Yay.
So we're finding the least common multiple of 24 ABC and 20 A squared B. All right. So let's break this down. 24 is what and what? 2 and 12. 12 is 2 and 6. 6 is 2 and 3. So this is 2 cubed times 3 times A times B times C. 20 A squared B is 2 and 10, which is 2 and 5, which is 2 squared times 5 times A squared times B. All right. So everything that appears, there's a lot of different stuff that appears in this one. There's a 2 that appears, a 3 that appears, a 5 that appears, an A that appears, a B that appears, and a C that appears. Those are all the different things that appear. And this is why we get them down to their prime factorization. Because otherwise, if you wouldn't go down all that way, then you would be like taking 2 times 10 times 6 times, and it'd be a huge number, and that's not the least common multiple. Now, what's the highest power 2 appears to? 3. What's the highest power 3 appears to? 1. What's the highest power 5 appears to? 1. What's the highest power A appears to? 2. What's the highest power B appears to? 1. And what's the highest power C appears to? 1. So you take 2 cubed, which is 8, times 3 times 5, or is like 120, right?
Yep.
120 A squared B C. That's the least common multiple. Okay, least common multiple. find the least common multiple of 26 and 52. 26 is what and what?
2 and 13. Right?
2 and 13. 52 is 2 and 26, which is 2 and 13. So this is 2 times 13. This is 2 squared times 13. So the only two numbers that appear are 2 and 13. What's the highest power 2 appears to? No. 2. What's the highest power 13 appears to? 1. So it's 4 times 13, which is 52. And you're going, well, that was right there. That's right. Because 26 times 2 is 52. So 52 would be the least common multiple. It has to be as big or bigger than the bigger number. The greatest common factor has to be the smallest number or smaller. The least common multiple is as big or bigger than the bigger number. Let's do one more. And then we're going to have a lot of work time today. Okay? We're going to have a lot of work time so we actually get something done. And isn't it so nice it's quiet in here today?
Yeah, it's not.
What?
Geography was quiet too, wasn't it? Yeah.
Kind of nice that way. Okay, we're going to do 3 numbers this time. 14xy, 16yz, 18xz. Let's find the least common multiple of these 3 numbers. 14 is what and what? 2 and 7. So it's 2 times 7 times x times y. 16 is 2 and 8, which is 2 and 4, which is 2 and 2. So it's 2 to the 4th power times y times z. 18, 2 and 9, which is 3 and 3. Don't leave it as 9. Okay, make sure if it can be broken down, you break it down. So it's 2 times 3 squared times x times z. Okay, what all appears? Well, I see a 2, I see a 3, and I see a 7. I also see an x and a y and a z. What's the highest power 2 appears to? Nope. 4. What's the highest power 3 appears to? 2. What's the highest power 7 appears to? 1. So this is 16 times 9 times 7 times x times y times z. 16 times 9 is 144. 144 times 7 is a pretty big number. 1008. Okay, so it's 1008 x, y, z. Can we do this? This is a lot like what we did last time. So you're going, okay, I know what I'm doing today. Well, on Friday in here, we're doing a Unit 3 review. Unit 3 review on Friday. On Monday, just a second, Monday is no school because of Native American Day or Columbus Day or Indigenous People Day, however you want to say it. I guess the politically correct way of saying it now is Indigenous People Day, but Native American Day, however. So then Wednesday, we'll take the Unit 3 test. Now, if those of you who have grades that aren't the greatest in here, okay, if you do well on your test, that'll bring up your grade, okay? That'll bring up a grade. Make sure you get rid of any missings in the grade book by handing everything in. If you have some bad scores on stuff, you can do corrections and get them up and then do well on your test. Now, your review and your test will look a lot alike. I'll try to make them the same except for different numbers. So you know what's on your test because I don't want any surprises. Okay? So, next Wednesday, we'll take the test. And today, we will have an hour to work on not only today's worksheet, but to go back and work on anything else that you need to catch up on. Okay? So, let's get that done. Mrs. Odegaard, Friday I'll have to drive bus again.
Okay.
So, you know. That's too bad.